we are recording. All righty. So hello again, everyone. We're really excited to have you here, and we want to welcome you to Flatiron School's Final Project Showcase, where we showcase recent software engineering, data science, and product design graduates' final projects. My name is Catherine Sommerfeld, and I'm the Director of Marketing Campaigns and Events here at Flatiron School. Part of my team's job is hosting free introductory workshops like today's event to give you an opportunity to get a better feel of the Flatiron School experience. A quick reminder, and I've said this a few times now, we'll be using the chat as our main source of communication, so please make sure to set the blue button from host and panelists to everyone so we can chat together. So without further ado, let me introduce tonight's first presenter, Sebastian Gonzales, with his project Trading League.
Hello, everyone. I'm Seb, and I'm a full stack software engineer. So for this presentation, I'll be showing you my final project, which is a cryptocurrency trading game. So let's start. And so if you don't have an account, you can be a visitor, but you will only have access to one game mode. But since we have an account, let's log in. So in here, error is handled. So if you input a wrong email or password, you'll be getting an error. And if you, let me input the correct password. Oops. Oops, let me. Okay, so this should be the account. If you input the right fields, you'll be redirected to the homepage. And in here, you'll be seeing the username, your MMR. If you know chess, you have MMR, which identifies your skill level. And you have the leaderboards, the challengers. Here's the match, the league, the badges. If you know chess, there's beginners, there's grandmasters. So for you to be promoted on higher divisions, you need to earn MMR.
Hey, Seb, can I interrupt for 1 second?
Oh, sorry.
Can you flip your camera on so we can see you while you present?
Okay, I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, so let's head to the game. Oh, first, the match history is empty. And let me start the game. So in here, you will be paired with a random crypto asset that you will be trading. So this is inspired from actual real-time trading, but I'm using historical data. So if you know trading, you have long, you have short. If you think the price will go up, you press long position. And here, next candle, which prints the next data, as you see in here. Right, so let's take a long position. So if you take a long position and the price went up, we will make a profit, right? But if the price went down, we'll incur losses, something like that. And let's close the position. And here's the current profit you got. And here's the trade that you made. And the opposite side, short. If you think the price will go down, and you press short. So if you went short, but the price went up, you will incur losses. But if the price went down, you'll make profit. And you can also add some indicators. If you know day trading, you can add those. And that's basically it. So like explore some other game modes. So for the next game mode, there's PvP, right? In here, you can invite any player to play the trading game. So let's invite Mark. Oops. Okay, so in here you have 20 seconds to make a profit. The player with the highest profit wins the game. So let's start. Let's try to make some profit. Okay. Oops. Good profit. All right. So we have $400 in total profit. So Mark needs to beat this one in order to win the game. So if you check our match history, we have pending in here. So we need to open Mark and accept the challenge. So let's try to open Mark. And in here, you'll see the challenge from Panda. Let's accept the challenge. So if you remember, the profit to bid is $400, right? Yeah, let's try to bid that. Oops. Okay, it seems Mark's gonna lose this game. You can use leverage. If you know leverage, well, if you know leverage, it multiplies your position. So basically, it's like borrowing money from the bank just to, trade. So basically, we need to see the match history and see here, Mark lost the game. And if we open Panda, we hear from pending, now it's a win. Okay, and for the last game mode, we have the rank game. In here, if we won the game, we'll be earning MMR. As you can see, Panda is around 2990 MMR, which is 10 points shy from reaching the highest rank. So let's try to win and get promoted to the highest division. Oops. Okay. Oops. Oh, no. Are we gonna get promoted? No. Okay, we lost. And that's most of it. And some other features, you can change your profile picture. Let's say this one. And that's my project. For that tech stack, I use MERN stack, I use React, Express, Node.js for the backend, and MongoDB for the database. For state management, I use Context API and use Reducer. And for performance optimizations, I use hooks like useMemo and use callback. And if you have any questions, just let me know.
Thank you, Seb. I don't see any questions. If anybody has any questions, please drop them in the chat. If we don't have any questions about that one, then I'm going to introduce our next presenter. Okay, I don't see any questions, so thank you very much. I'm now going to introduce Aydan Rivera, and her project is Build Early Money Habits.
All right, let's see. All right, hi everyone. I'm Aydan Rivera. I'm a product designer, UX designer, and most importantly, I design for user needs. And I'm excited to show you my project for the final showcase today. So for a little bit of background on this project, it was the last project that I had completed here on my Flatiron journey. And it was to create a responsive wireframe for a website so parents can learn about and sign up for a course designed to build early money habits for children ages 10 through 12. So what problem was I specifically solving? My problem statement was that children need to learn good financial habits at a habit-forming age in order to make good financial habits in their adulthood, because a lack of financial literacy knowledge at a young age promotes bad financial choices in the future. And then the technology I had used for this project was Figma. So my first steps included feature prioritization, so seeing what features were going to be the most important for this website, and then a sitemap to see how I would organize those features, and then a competitive analysis to see how other companies with a similar goal were approaching their solutions, and then a card sort to see how participants would organize the information I found. So here we have my low fidelity prototype, which was the next step. We have our homepage here. Then we have our course overview. We have a basic information page, a privacy policy and terms and condition page, And then we have a payment page and a confirmation page letting users know that they have purchased this course. And then this led to my mid-fidelity prototype. There's more detail on this one. So you would go through this page and click Learn More, which would direct you to the course overview page. Then you would click down here to sign up for the course, fill out some basic information and see what plan you're choosing. Then you would go over just some privacy policy and terms and conditions. Once you accept that, you would enter in your payment, and then you would get a confirmation letting you know that you have purchased this course. And so the way I measured the success of this project was the average amount of clicks each participant took during each step. So for example, the participant was asked to navigate to the course overview page. So each user had about 1 to 2 clicks, and the range for success for that was 1 to 2 clicks. So it was a successful task. And this happened for the entirety of the testing, so it was pretty successful. So for my next steps, I would create prototyping within my mid-fidelity frames. I would conclude any final research, extra testing, and receive feedback. And then I would hand off my findings to the UI designer for more designing. And some challenges that I had faced during this project was deciding what features were going to be prioritized. And since I had a limited amount of time, it was hard to decipher which ones were the most important. And then let's definitely stay in touch. Here's some forms of communication that I will drop down in the chat, but thank you all for your time.
Thank you, Aydan. Any questions for Aydan? I know there's been a lot of back and forth in the chat about Sebastian's project, so just want to give Aydan time as well. You've got a good job. I'll second that. All right, well, continue to drop those questions in the chat, and Aydan will be off screen, but available to answer your questions as they come in. And I'm going to introduce our next presenter, Jerrod Bush, with his project Trial Tracker. Take it away.
Cool, thank you. So my name's Jerrod Bush. I'm a full stack developer, and I am incredibly passionate about curing cancer and preventable disease and the promise of new cellular therapies. However, I'm a software engineer and not an immunologist or a molecular biologist or researcher. So I wanted to create an application that helps alleviate the administrative burden of clinical trials so that the researchers can focus on doing what they do best, trying to cure cancer and cure disease, save lives. So my application Trial Tracker is here to help meet that criteria, help solve that problem. Trial Tracker is an administrative tool that provides a centralized platform for managing and tracking drug and treatment trials. Users can securely store and manage patient data, track the progress of each trial, and access real-time analytics on patient data. Trial Tracker's user-friendly interface allows for easy navigation and seamless management of trials. It incorporates REST API server-side routing, complex database tables, and dynamic data visualization with D3, so users can quickly and easily access the data they need to make informed decisions. Additionally, I've employed Google Cloud Services for storage of patient documents on the cloud, which I will demonstrate here in a second. So I guess without further ado, I will jump right in. We'll log in here, and that will immediately bring you to your landing page with some high-level information, trials based on phase, patient numbers, as well as your calendar. And you can also pull up your agenda here. I have one item in there right now, Final Project Showcase, which is currently underway. You can add events to the calendar if you so choose. We will go right to our trials page now, and this is where I think the project starts to get quite a bit more interesting. There's a lot you can do here. This page is really going to be sort of your one-stop shop for all of your trials. You can sort by phase. You can sort by keyword. Oh, car. So I want to look for like car T. You could create a new trial if you wanted. We will jump over to this trial though, PD-1 antibody expressing meso-CAR T cells, etc. You know, we don't need to go into the details here, but what I think I really want to highlight with this page is that really it's what I think this page is doing really well is aggregating a lot of data. You know, this is incredibly dense data that you're collecting with a clinical trial. And so I think it's doing a good job of separating it out from, you know, high level information, aggregate patient measurements, patients, conditions that the trial is targeting, the different arm groups, locations, outcome descriptions, primary versus secondary. And of course, you can add all these as well. So really quite a bit of flexibility. You could add a patient as well. But I think my favorite thing on this page is probably the data visualization that I implemented with d3.js. So this is a scatter chart. So you'll see that there's a lot of different data points here, and we can add more, and I'll demonstrate that in a second. We've got male, female, male placebo, female placebo, as well as the list of data points. And I think that this is great, especially for something like a clinical trial where it's really important to be able to visualize this data and kind of look for trends, as well as actually just have the hard data itself. So I will go into, who do we want to do? I'll go into Myrna. We'll add another data point for Myrna. So this is going to be Myrna's patient page. It's going to have some information about her trial, her conditions, her measurements as well, which on this page, it's going to be a line chart instead of a scatter chart, which I really like. I think it makes a little bit more sense for an individual patient. You can add notes as well. And I will jump right back to this, but we'll add another measurement here, and we'll just go with the 12th. We'll stick with the same units. We'll just say 118, and we'll say submit measurement. Okay, fantastic. So now we can see that we've added that third measurement. And now if we go back here, we can now see that additional measurement in our charts, which I think is really, really nice. So I'll go back to Myrna's page now because I want to highlight this feature right here. So we'll upload a document, and I've just got a little test file that we can upload. And so this is actually going to go to Google Cloud Storage. So if you click this link now, you'll see that it has this storage, Google APIs, trial tracker document. So this is going to be uploaded to the cloud, which I think is an awesome feature because it's extremely current with how companies are doing things. And it's a really secure and safe way to store things as well through Google Cloud. So I think that that's not only a necessary feature, but a really nice additional feature for the page. So now I will go back to our patients page here. If you want to look for patients, now this is actually one of my favorite pages on the site. There's a little bit less going on visually, but there's some interesting things happening under the hood. So for starters, we have the search feature, but it's not just a typical search feature. It's actually, I've incorporated a debouncer with it. So it's going to wait until I stop typing, and only after I stop typing is it actually going to put that fetch request through for the last name. And I've also worked that in with web pagination. So I'm only sending 6 items, 6 patients from the back end up to the front end. Because there's a lot of patients, and as you know, you scale this project more and more and more, there's going to be tons of data. So I didn't want to overload the front end with too much data, so I only wanted to send 6 patient data points at a single time. So I've incorporated that pagination aspect, which I think is really nice, but it made it a little bit challenging to actually get the search feature to work, but I was able to get that working, the search feature, with the back-end pagination, which was fantastic. So I'm glad that it worked out that way. The last thing that I will show, really, it's just kind of more of the same. It's going to be a search feature for your notes as well as some pagination in here. And so That is the project in its current form. Some of the technologies that I used include React.js for the front end, Ruby on Rails for the back end, Google Cloud Storage for patient documentation, storage, D3.js library for data visualization, and some changes that I plan to incorporate moving forward would be adding AWS in for scalability and more backend storage as well. That's something that I would like to add in. So one of the biggest challenges that I had was really working with D3 and getting all of the data sets to work on that scatter chart. With single patients, it was pretty simple, but with multiple patients, getting them all working on the same scatter chart and the data formatted properly was a little bit of a lift. So I'm glad that I got that work. It was also my first time working with Google Cloud Services. So I thought, that was a really good, it was challenging, but I thought it was a really rewarding experience. And I'm extremely glad I got that in there as well. So that is my project trial tracker. And if you have any questions or would like to get in touch, this is my information. I'll turn it back now. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We do have one question for you, and that's, can the project be ported to mobile and desktop?
I'm working on desktop at the moment, and I'm planning on using React Native as well so that it could work with mobile. So it could. It doesn't at the moment, but that is something I've thought about and something I plan on rolling out soon.
Great. Any other questions for Jerrod? If not, we will keep moving, and please feel free to drop them in the chat, and Jerrod will be here to answer your questions. I'll also take a look at the end of the presentation after everyone is gone if there are any last-minute questions that we can address. Otherwise, let's keep going. So thank you again, Jerrod. And next up, we have Shannon Lowe with her project Fitted.
Hello, everyone. My name is Shannon. I'm a product designer, and today I'll be sharing with you with my final project, Fitted. It's a tool that's about building confidence in your fitness journeys, and I'm really excited to show you my process. So let's get started. So picture this. You decided to start your fitness journey, and you get to the gym and you're excited, but you ask yourself, what are these machines? How do I use them? Am I even doing this right? As someone who works out really frequently, I find myself asking these questions almost every time I go to the gym. Everything that I learned came from trial and error, and I always wish that I had a tool that helps me more specifically with equipment use and form. So I wondered if other people experience the same problem. So I conducted 3 user interviews and discovered that one of the major pain points was that people really struggle with posture and targeting the right area when they're exercising. And without this knowledge, they have a difficulty with creating workouts that are tailored toward their goals. And overall, people often feel intimidated when they go to the gym. And then you might ask, what about existing fitness apps? Do they help with these problems? Based on a competitive analysis that I conducted on 5 top fitness apps, I observed that one of the biggest problems was the lack of resources on proper form of exercises and machine use, which was one of the major pain points that I just mentioned. And also, with many fitness apps on the market, it's really important to develop a strong brand identity to differentiate yourself from your competitors, which most of these apps didn't have, with exception to the brands that are already linked to popular shopping stores such as Nike and Gymshark. So this led me to create Fitted. Both a play on the words and its actual meaning, Fitted is a combination of both fitness and education. Our tool aims to create a safe, inclusive, and welcoming environment for fitness newcomers and enthusiasts to learn about exercising. So one of the main components to the solution was the brand and how we convey user needs and Fitted's values through our style. So for example, our color scheme is a mix of warm and cool tones and a pop of color. So the purpose of this choice was to evoke a sense of relaxation while you're exercising, while also emphasizing being active. And for example, like we want to avoid extremely bright or highly contrasted colors such as red to prevent users from feeling overwhelmed, intimidated, or straining their eyes. So combining this brand and with the goal of solving the user pain points, I developed the following key features, which I will present to you in a live demo shortly. But first, just a summary. We have the onboarding process, which personalizes workouts based on the user's preferences. So users don't have to spend their time struggling to put together their own workouts, especially if they're lacking the education about exercises. And next, we have some detailed exercise information pages that include step-by-steps, alternatives, and visuals of correct form and posture to help people perform their exercises correctly. And finally, users express wanting to learn more about the fundamentals and basics of fitness. So to solve this, the user has the ability to search for a variety of fitness resources by category. So now I'll move with the demo. So this is what the user sees when they open Fitted, and we will create an account. And you will be met with the onboarding process. You can either skip it, but I will go through it to show you how it works. So you will enter your basic information, and Fitted will take this information to create personalized workouts for you. So for example, let's just say my goals are to stay active and to build muscle. I'd like to work out 4 times a week, and I want to focus on my hamstrings and my glutes. So now the app is now personalizing your dashboard. And now you already have today's workout, which is glutes. You can either preview today's workout, or if you'd like to view the full workout, you can see it here. So if you view this and you don't have any questions, you can start your workout. Or my favorite part, if you need some help, for example, let's just say I don't really know much about hip thrusts. I can view this information and you can view what targeted muscles are, the equipment you need, instructions, including the setup, which is often left out in a lot of fitness resources, and also alternatives. Because I know many of us probably we work out sometimes and we don't have these specific equipment, or when we go to the gym, all of the machines are taken. So that's the point of having the alternatives. And you also have video instruction, and also visuals of incorrect and correct posture to help out with your exercising. And also for your search, you have some recommended programs or exercises. You can view some presets that Fitted has for you. So something that a lot of fitness resources don't have is definitions of common gym terms or the types of machines that you see. So for example, let's just say you don't know what reps are or sets. You have those definitions for you right here. And you also can browse exercises based on category. There's also other features that you can explore. I will link the prototype at the end of the presentation. There's also a tablet version if you'd like to view it on a larger screen, but for now we'll move back to the presentation. And some of the next steps is I want to conduct the next round of usability tests and iterate on the high fidelity prototype. I'd also like to take the user interface a little bit further and develop a dark mode version for accessibility. And finally, I wanted to increase the user control and ownership of Fitted as the person progresses with their workout journey. So they can add the ability to create their own workouts. And one of my key takeaways was taking on the challenge of project management with about less than 2 weeks to do the project. It was a really rewarding experience to be able to take ownership of this project. And it really taught me how to effectively balance my time without sacrificing the quality of my work. Thank you so much for listening to my presentation, and please let me know if you have any questions. And the QR codes are there if you'd like to play around with the prototypes yourself. Thank you.
Thank you, Shannon. You've got a lot of cheerleaders in the comments right now. You did have one question, which was what you used for your mock-up.
Yes, I used Figma for everything, including the presentation.
Awesome. All right. There was also a question about whether Fitted has intensity, like beginner or professional level.
Yes. So for example, right here, if you would like to view your exercises, you can browse by experience level. Something that I should probably add in the onboarding process is also the user to self-proclaim their experience level, and it'll help. Also in the workout itself, for example, for hip thrusts, you can also view the level. So hip thrust was considered as intermediate, but yes.
Great. Okay, again, if you have any other questions for Shannon, please feel free to drop them in the chat. And I will introduce our last presenter of the night, John Rooney, who has his project Monster Maker.
Great, thanks, Heath. So hi, everybody. I know everybody has the same issue that I do, that when you're looking to create a D&D game, or you create a game in general, you struggle over how you want to make characters, and you need some inspiration sometimes. So I went with a little fun aspect with mine. Mine is called Monster Maker, and I shall get this up and running right here for everybody to see. So basically, the idea behind this was to just be able to have a quick way to generate multiple characters and then get those characters into what I call a crew. It could be utilized for different game styles. And if you're making different levels, you can put different crews on different levels. But we'll just jump right into it real quick here. And we'll sign in as me because I have lots of monsters already made. So it brings you here. And then what we're going to do is we're going to just start in right away, and we'll make a new monster right away. So I populated with a number of just different artwork. And so we'll just say, all right, we're going to grab this rotten ghoul guy. It's going to drop us off, excuse me, at this page. It populates it just so you can see it. One of the things that I utilized in the creation of this is I very much wanted a drag and drop kind of fun feel for the game. So when you decide that you want to add an armor piece, you click here, brings you here to a page. You can either select the units, it'll populate it for speed, or if you decide that you want to just drag and drop, it'll populate. The drag and drop is specific, so I can't drop weapons into armor, but I can just grab whatever I want. We'll name this guy Billy. We'll just keep him at level 1 for right now, and all the base points, and his bio, would go here. I was conscious that this is could be utilized for children, and so there is if we were to put a bad word here and we go to try and save the monster, it will not allow us. It has a validation for a offensive word dictionary. But then once we do actually save our monster, it'll let us know that our monster has been saved. And it's really difficult because there we go. Okay, so then we'll go to our monster page. Okay, so this is kind of the bread and butter of it. All your monsters that you create, they're all saved in the back end of your username. Everything gets populated here. It is dynamic populating. So if we head all the way down to Billy here, we're going to see that he has an armor rating of 6, even though we didn't give him any base armor. Because he's wearing armor, it jumps up, so it all calculates in the back end. If we want to come in here and be like, oh, no, you know what? I meant to put him at, let's give him a base armor of 10 this time. And we'll just update that monster, lets us know that it's updated. And we come down to Billy here, and now his armor is adjusted properly. The different card styles that we have here are also dynamically done. So if we were to switch Billy to a different level, and let's make him a level 5, he's going to end up getting the secondary card, which is this fun one here. And then anything above a 10 will end up getting this one. So it's like if we make him level 55, we'll update that monster. And now he is got the really cool blue snowfally one. So all of it is dynamic. And then after you create your monster, you're going to want to put him into what I call a crew. And to do that, then we would go to my crews. And in this page, it's going to just populate, I have a maximum of 10 characters per crew. So right now we've got 3 different crews. Everything's everything you retain on the back end. We remove a character, he's gone, or we can just delete the whole crew altogether. But let's say we wanted to, we're going to try and add our new guy into crew 1. It's already got 10 crew members. So we go back to my monster, we come down here. These drop downs are dynamic to however many crews that user currently has. So if we try and add him to crew 1, this crew already has 10 members, so unfortunately can't, but we can add him to crew 2. He's been added to crew 2. So this is just where you would go to create create these crews, and we can see that he's there he is, all squared away. That really is the base of it. It's pretty simple character builder. If we want, we can also, I forgot to mention, we can change our avatar to whatever we want. And we can search for, say we wanted an orc. It is dynamic searching, so we can create him here. I just have it as a Frank, to be like money bags. Give him money bags, and we'll give him 13. And I have money. Doesn't need any armor or anything. It does populate that no armor, no, and this is all dynamic. So yeah, that is in a nutshell my monster maker.
Awesome. Thank you, John.
Absolutely.
You had a captive audience over here with my husband, who is also a D&D player. So we had one question. I'm not sure that this is the best audience for it, but I'll throw it out there if you guys have questions. Could a Flatiron software engineer grad with some knowledge of the Unity game engine or other game engines become a professional developer? Yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I was like, I could kind of field that one a little, as I do a lot of programming in Unity and Unreal. So Flatiron is teaching a different skill set. Some of it is transferable over, because learning, you're going to be learning Python and you're going to be learning JavaScript, to where Unity runs on C++ and Unreal runs on C#. But it's like, it does get you into that mindset of all the things that you're going to have to think about when you're creating games. So yeah, it's helpful, but it is, if you're looking specifically for Unity development, that is, at least in the software engineer portion where I was in, it is more geared towards getting you to become a web developer.
Thank you very much, John. Okay, you're getting lots of, I see the word cool over and over again. Very cool. Thank you all. Really great job, everyone. I really appreciate you taking your time to share your projects with us. If there are any additional questions, please drop them either in the Q&A or the chat now. Otherwise, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up. So again, thank you to our panelists and everybody who zoomed in to join us tonight. If you have further questions about Flatiron School, I'm going to drop the link to schedule a chat with our admissions team. And as a reminder, you'll receive a copy of tonight's presentation within 3 business days after the event. If you'd like to see any previous events, you can head to our YouTube channel and subscribe. Again, thank you and have a great night.